This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Hi, this is Joe. Welcome back. So I hope everyone had a nice long weekend. So what I want to talk about today is how to use standard divergence the correct way, at least the correct way in my opinion. I always am looking to use divergence in the direction of the trend. So I want to show you an example of how you can identify this because it's actually kind of rare when you get standard divergence. Now, reverse divergence, which I talk about in my course and also on this channel, it can happen very often in the direction of the trend, but standard divergence not as much. So I want to show you an example of that, and I think this will help with your understanding. Now, if you want to learn some more about these techniques, both of the standard and reverse divergence are in my book. You can go to rabilstockresearch.com/book for more information. And also, if you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. So as a part of my course, we have a community that's starting, and I noticed there was a question about Pulte homes that came across by one of the subscribers, and we got some input from different people. I wanted to address it myself, and I thought this would make for a really good video, actually, because there are times where it's not a crystal clear signal, but you can take advantage of certain things, and ADX can give us slight little nuances that I think can give us an edge, all right? And then what we can do is use that MACD divergence at times when the bigger time frames are showing real strength, all right? That's the critical thing I want to get across today. If we've got the strength on the higher time frames, we can look for divergence on the lower time frames. Other than that, I don't necessarily want to jump the gun and get a really early entry. I think it's a little aggressive using divergence sometimes, but let's just go through this example. So let's start with the monthly chart because this is really what we were looking at. So we have this strong move to the upside in PHM. This was the home builders, all right? They made it very difficult to enter these because of the way they played out. You see how strong of a move this made? It broke out and just kind of took off to the upside. All right, now you might have been in early here, and you can see the strength in the ADX in early 2023. We had strength that highlighted with a nice signal using the weekly and the daily. The monthly was a little abrupt, although if you notice, it was a zero line reversal with low ADX. It kicked in with a big monster bar crossing the 50 level and breaking the downtrend line. All right, so there were some signs, but once that happened, it basically just took off like a rocket to the upside. And then we got a pinch play that developed. The key thing I want to point out with this time frame is that because the ADX was rising during this phase, all right, through the whole phase, even through this pullback, we did not need a pullback all the way to the 18, all right? We're just looking for some form of a kind of a check back. So this pivot, this pinch play pattern was actually pretty good. And then on the monthly chart, we got a doji bar right at the low, on the low bar after being down 2 or 3 months, all right? Now let's move to the weekly chart because this is kind of the key to the whole pattern setup. So we make a strong move. Now, just prior to the breakout, we're showing real strength in the ADX. Again, it's rising, but we get a really nice signal. And then we break out and we get this extended run to the upside. And then look at what happens. We break the 18. Now, there's a couple things that I talk about to my subscribers when we do our weekly videos and when we go through our webinars each month. I like to talk about this one specific pattern that is basically taking everything into account and what we're looking for, and that is strength to the upside. And you can see it's in a powerful trend because the ADX crossed above 50 on this move to the upside, clearly being led by the bulls. Bears are very weak. All right, and then we go through a correction. Now it turns into an ABC correction because it doesn't hold the 18. It comes all the way down to the 40. All right, we get a 40 correction. Now, this is actually the first kind of test of the zero line after we broke above the zero line. So here's the break above, and then we had the little pinch play, but it didn't really come anywhere near the zero line. And then we get this move to the downside. Now, look at the way this plays out. We get strength here, and then as we pull back, we're back. The ADX line gets back to 25. okay? But there's no sign of real strength in the selling. So we're back to the 40. We've worked off a lot of the overbought in the MACD, and then the ADX, which was way up at like 65, has dropped back down to 25. All right, now in and of itself, there's no signal here. There's no signal. Just because we've come back to the 40, it doesn't mean that it's a buy. All right, but because there's strength here, because we've worked off the overbought condition, we can go to the smaller time frame and look for some kind of a sign. Now, I've already scrolled this back, so I'm back into October, November time frame of 2023, which is exactly where this was pulling back to the 40. Now, if you look at the way this played out, we had a pretty good corrective pattern to the downside. And, the ADX got above 25, but then when we made a new low here, the ADX was starting to diminish. And more important to me in this situation, this is our classic momentum divergence using MACD. All right. We make a new low here in price and we get confirmation on MACD. We make another new low in price here. We get confirmation in MACD. But then we make a rally here and we make another new low and we do not get confirmation. It does not make a lower low. So this is your standard divergence pattern in MACD. But the beauty of this is that it's taken place in the direction of the bigger trend following a monster move to the upside with rising ADX on the monthly. So we're clearly in a powerful trend on the upside. We're in a power trend on the weekly, right? So we've got a monthly chart showing a lot of strength, weekly chart showing a lot of strength. MACD has worked off some of the overbought. The ADX has worked its way back down to 25. The sellers are not strong, and we're sitting on the 40. Now I can go and use a divergent pattern like this to get in early. Now, the question becomes, when do you get in? All right. Now, there's a couple different ways to handle this. The way I would look at it is if I'm playing divergence, if I'm playing a divergence signal, I'm going to go down to the smaller time frame and look for the reversal signal on the next time frame down, which would be the hourly chart. So what we're going to do is I've already scrolled this back. This is, again, we're back into October, November timeframe of 2023. And I'm going to zero in on this because I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. So we get this move to the downside. We're showing decent amount of strength based on the sellers. The sellers showed some strength. Then we get a rally up, and then we kind of come back down and actually make a marginal new low, but we don't get ADX to hit a new low. But still, I think what I would be looking for, because the ADX was above 25 based on the sellers, I'm really looking for green to kick in here and give a little bit more confirmation. And where that would take place is this move to the upside and this pause. This is where ADX is going to the upside right here. You see how the ADX and the green DI is causing the ADX to cross above 25 right in this range, right as the price is truly reversing. So we're talking about getting in the low 70s, probably around 73-ish, something like that. If we go back to the daily chart, that would be right in this range here. Let me just show you right in this range here as price is getting back above the 18. Now, doing it off the daily by itself seems a little aggressive, but remember, we've got divergence here, and we've got a really strong reading in MACD and ADX on the weekly chart, and we have a rising ADX on the monthly with a doji forming. So with all that, I'm willing to go ahead and play this hourly signal using the MACD divergence on the daily. So you see how someone could look at this daily chart without looking at these, right? And they could say, oh, we've got divergence and we've got a nice little setup on the hourly, right? I mean, you could do that just looking at those two. But if you only look at these two and you do divergence, you're not going to have the high probability setup that we're talking about here using this and using this, all right? Hopefully, putting all this together can be really helpful. I wanted to show you how in multiple time frames you can build a case for taking a divergence signal, a standard divergence signal that has very, very high probability, and then how to enter it on the smaller time frame. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.